The world has always been captivated by mysteries, from the lost cities of ancient civilizations to the disappearance of famous figures in history. But perhaps one of the most intriguing cases is that of the Lost Alchemist. His name has faded from most records, and only whispers remain about his groundbreaking work. He was a man who dared to unlock the deepest secrets of nature, pursuing knowledge that was considered forbidden by many. Yet one day, in the midst of his studies, he vanished, leaving behind only cryptic messages, unfinished manuscripts, and a trail of unanswered questions. Who was this alchemist? What knowledge did he possess that made his disappearance so baffling? Why was his work shrouded in secrecy? And most importantly, did he truly uncover the secret to eternal life, or was it something far more sinister? In this story, we will follow the path of the Lost Alchemist, retracing his steps from his earliest days of research to the fateful moment when he disappeared without a trace. Along the way, we'll uncover the truths behind his alchemical experiments, the dangerous forces he dealt with, and the legacy he left behind. The Lost Alchemist, whose true name remains a subject of much debate, was born in the late 15th century in the heart of Europe, in a time when alchemy was both a revered science and a dangerous art. The alchemists of the time were not mere sorcerers or magicians. They were pioneers of chemistry, astrology, and philosophy, seeking to transform base metals into gold and unlock the mysteries of the universe. From a young age, the Lost Alchemist was fascinated by the natural world. He would often spend hours in his family's garden, observing the plants, the stars, and the weather, attempting to understand the hidden forces that govern life. His thirst for knowledge led him to the study of the ancient texts of alchemical masters, particularly those of Hermes Trismegistus, a mythical figure whose writings were said to hold the key to the secrets of the universe. In his youth, he was a promising scholar, studying under some of the most renowned alchemists of the time. His teachers recognized his exceptional intellect and his relentless curiosity, but they also warned him about the dangers of delving too deeply into the unknown. Alchemy, they said, was not a pursuit for the faint of heart. Yet, the Lost Alchemist was undeterred. He sought answers to questions that others feared to ask. As he matured, the Lost Alchemist began his own experiments, focusing on the transmutation of metals and the elusive Philosopher's Stone. The Philosopher's Stone, according to legend, was a substance that could turn base metals into gold and grant immortality. For centuries, alchemists had pursued it with fervor that bordered on obsession. Yet, despite countless failures, the Lost Alchemist was convinced that he could unlock its secret. His early work was met with skepticism by the scientific community, and his experiments were often dismissed as impractical or impossible. However, there were those who believed in his genius, including a group of secretive benefactors who funded his research in exchange for his discoveries. As the Lost Alchemist's research progressed, so did his reputation. He began to make significant breakthroughs in the field of alchemy, demonstrating a deep understanding of chemical reactions and the properties of various substances. It was said that his experiments in transmutation were more advanced than anything the alchemists of his time had ever attempted. He developed a method for refining metals that left even the most experienced craftsmen in awe. However, his greatest ambition was always the Philosopher's Stone. The Lost Alchemist's rise to prominence was swift. He attracted the attention of powerful figures, including nobles and monarchs who sought to capitalize on his alchemical knowledge. His influence spread throughout the courts of Europe, and soon he was considered the foremost alchemist of his age. Yet, with this rise to power came the realization that he was surrounded by those who wanted to control or manipulate his discoveries. In the court of one such noble, a man who was both a patron and a rival, the Lost Alchemist made a breakthrough that would change the course of history. He claimed to have discovered the secret to the Philosopher's Stone. His announcement sent shockwaves through the scientific community, as well as the religious and political powers of the time. The implications of such a discovery were staggering. Immortality and boundless wealth could be within reach. But not everyone was thrilled by this news. The church, always wary of alchemist pursuits, saw the discovery as a challenge to the divine order. The aristocracy, too, feared the disruption of the existing power structures. For some, the Philosopher's Stone represented not only an opportunity for personal gain, but also a threat to their own influence. As pressure mounted, the Lost Alchemist withdrew from the public eye, choosing to work in secret. He retreated to a remote laboratory, where he continued his experiments with even greater intensity. He began to show signs of obsession, and rumors started to circulate that he was attempting to create the ultimate elixir, a potion that could grant eternal life. One fateful night, the Lost Alchemist vanished without a trace. His laboratory was found locked from the inside, with all of his notes, manuscripts, and alchemical tools left behind in disarray. There was no sign of a struggle, and no explanation for his sudden disappearance. Some speculated that he had succeeded in creating the Philosopher's Stone and had gone into hiding to protect his discovery. Others believed that he had been the victim of foul play, either by a rival or someone who wanted to claim his work for themselves. The disappearance of the Lost Alchemist sent shockwaves through the alchemical community and beyond. His patrons, colleagues, and rivals alike were left scrambling for answers, but no one could provide any. The truth seemed lost to time. However, over the centuries, various theories have emerged regarding the fate of the Lost Alchemist. Some say that he achieved the immortality he sought and ascended into a higher plane of existence, leaving the physical world behind. Others claim that he was consumed by his obsession and vanished into the ether, his mind lost to the very knowledge he sought to unlock. There are even those who believe that he created a secret society, leaving behind clues for future generations to discover his work and complete his legacy. The story of the Lost Alchemist is one of intrigue, mystery, and eternal quest for knowledge. His disappearance remains one of history's greatest unsolved riddles, a puzzle that has inspired countless generations to search for the answers he left behind. Was he a visionary who unlocked the secrets of the universe, or was he merely a man consumed by ambition, driven to madness by his quest for immortality? Perhaps the truth lies somewhere in between. The Lost Alchemist may have achieved greatness beyond our understanding, or perhaps he was simply another victim of his own obsessive pursuit of knowledge. His disappearance reminds us of the dangers of overreaching ambition and the fine line between genius and madness. Yet, despite the passing centuries, his story endures, captivating our imagination and fueling our search for answers. The greatest mystery of all, however, may not be the disappearance of the Lost Alchemist, but the question of what he truly discovered, and whether the secrets he left behind are still waiting to be uncovered.